There's a place in the land where the pirates play. You can play if you want, everything's okay. You can play on your dawn, hear it shines like day. We are the creatures of the dawn, repping Tampa Bay. Alright, it's my new song I'm working on. Alright, so astrology and tarot. I literally do not know a whole lot about that, but I do have some interesting perspectives and personal experiences that I would like to share with you guys. So, I'm going to get into that in a minute. But yeah, I'm looking at this, so yes, that was the subject. And damn, come on guys. Only 8% of you voted for Twinkies? I mean, seriously? Come on, man, we got to talk about Twinkies. And I got this mic because sometimes it's easier to read without having to yell across the house. Picks up a lot better. All right, so astrology and tarot. I'm also going to be doing questions. So if you guys got any questions, anything you want to know, I am going to use my trusty tarot deck to try to answer it. It's like, hey, are we going to get a divorce? It's like, yep, she totally hates you, man. You're totally screwed. You're up shit creek without a paddle. Let me tune into my own damn live feed. All right. So, if you guys have any questions, any comments, feel free to chime in, ask away, ask anything you want. Like I said, if you want a prediction from from somebody who is not a professional tarot reader, I will do my best to make all of your wildest dreams come true. So, there's a lot of people out there. Let me get this mic closer so I don't have to yell as much. I noticed that the volume wasn't incredibly great last time, so I want you guys to hear what I'm saying. And I couldn't find my other mic stand. I have one that actually swivels over here because I work on music and stuff. And I really want to get to where I'm able to do vocals or at least have singers. Like that song that I'm working on. I actually want like, I want like a hot female chick to sing it. I think it would sound better if there was a hot chick singing it. So, yeah, I think that sounds pretty cool. I was at the Castle, which is a cool ass place here in Ybor City where I live. For all you who don't know, Ybor City is kind of like the New Orleans of Tampa. You know, it's one of the most haunted places in Florida. It's really cool. So there's a place called the Castle over there, and it's right over by the Speakeasy. Yeah, you heard that right, Speakeasy, as in speakeasy. And it is haunted as hell, they say. I mean, like really, really, really seriously haunted. I mean, like, floating shit, Ghostbusters, all that good stuff. And right around the block from the Speakeasy is a place called the Castle, and they play this cool ass industrial music. I mean, anything you got. I could tell you stories and stories and stories about the shit that I've seen down there in the 20 years that I've been going there. And Jason, my buddy Jason Podolak, he's like this hardcore swing dancer. He actually showed it to me, and I think he might have went there in his suit. He wears all these zoot suits and stuff like that. He's cool as hell. He's been, swing dancing and teaching dancing and tango for, decades and decades. Matter of fact, in the 90s, I want to say that he was on the news, and they did a special report on him and the whole swing dancing crew that he, helped make. It was really cool. But he took me to this place called the Castle. There's this guy down there called the Senator. So this guy wears a judge uniform, and he comes in all noble and shit, you know, hands all in his side to his damn judge uniform with the collar, the white collar, hair slicked back, and he's like, yes, thank you, how do you do? Good to see you this evening, and stuff like that. And then he gets out on the dance floor every time. I don't know if he comes out there anymore. I haven't seen him in a while. He was actually on the older side, and this is, you know, going on 20 years ago. And he would throw off his damn judge uniform and have like the damn like pink banana hammock. Craziest shit you ever see. Some of the craziest shit that I saw in there was actually a guy in a Nazi uniform. Kid you not, SS badges right here and all, walks in, walks upstairs and clacks his boots, takes off his hat, starts dancing. And he was cool, you know, it wasn't anything like that. You know, he was vibing out with white, black people, transgenders. I mean, you know, you name it, because that's what hangs out down there. You got a lot of your goths, you have a lot of your quote unquote weirdos. And so that song here at the beginning, it kind of inspired that. And I don't know, I might finish it, see if I can get a good lyricist on it and keep writing lyrics for it and see if the Castle will actually spin it, because that's kind of the stuff that they play. It's really cool, it's really cool. You ever come down here to Ybor City, check out the Castle. So anyways, yes, comment away. Live comments are open. You can say anything you want. I guess we're not talking about Twinkies tonight because it only got 8%. Oh. Love and relationships came second at 25%. Astrology and tarot is 58%. Thank you for voting. So be sure to check out the poll, because I will be adding to it as I do these every Wednesday at 8. So every Wednesday, 8 to 10 Eastern time. Be sure to tune in. All your wildest dreams will come true. Like all of them, okay? I mean, like seriously. I mean, do you want to win $1 billion or not? It's that simple. So anyways, I'm going to be talking about astrology tonight. And it's something that has always worked for me. And like I said, if you're just now tuning in, I will be talking about tarot. You can ask me questions. I will try my best to answer away. I am not a professional tarot reader, so I'm literally going to be pulling stuff out of my ass. Yes, Dave. She's taking the house too. Yep, you're totally screwed. Oh yeah. Are you going to win $1 billion? You know what? Fuck it. You're going to win $200 billion. Or no, how was he? Who said it like that? $100 billion. Austin Powers. Some of you might be too young for that. So you have the signs, all right? If you don't know about astrology, it's way deeper than that, of course. You've got your birth charts. My birth chart has a hell of a lot of Sagittarius in it, probably hence my wild side, because, you know, I've got a hell of a wild side, all right? Don't judge me, damn it. I'm still pretty responsible towards my responsibilities, but yes, I do have a hell of a wild streak. So Aries is basically going to be like the first. They're fiery, blase, good with business, seem to be lucky with money. You got Taurus, and they're bitchy as hell, I swear. Really hard to please. And I swear they're always trying to like control shit even more. Strawberry shortcake. What's up, baby? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, you've got Aries, you know, seems to be a very lucky sign, good with business, stuff like that, etc., etc., etc. Taurus, they get on my damn nerves. Maybe because I'm a Leo, I swear I feel like I'm always in competition with them. I just want to strangle them. Okay. Hold on, let me go down the list real quick. So we've got Aries, we got Taurus, we got Gemini. My daughter's a Gemini. She gets on my last flipping nerve. She's literally, look, they're just two-sided people. That's the way that they are. They have a lot of complexity about them. They actually do a lot of cool shit. They're very famous people usually. I tell her something, hey, I need you to do this, and I'd really like it if you do it this way. Oh, okay, Dad. Does it her own way anyway. I was a Leo. My mom will tell you. Like, I fought and fought hard. Do those dishes, and I need you to do this before you go. It's not fair. Why should I have to do that? Yeah, right, exactly. So, Strawberry Shortcake says my sister is Gemini, bipolar as fuck. So true, I swear. Very unpredictable type, very complex, very hard to get to know. You have the Cancers, which, here's the irony of the Cancers that I have found. They are one of the sweetest, most softest, emotionally damaged, giving, even like to their detriment types. And then they are also the meanest motherfuckers I have ever seen in my life. Wait a minute. Andrea says, Gemini here, we see things from different perspectives, not necessarily two-sided. That's true. That's very true. I want to say they're probably one of the most interesting signs that I have ever dealt with, I think. So, very interesting. People that have a lot of Gemini in their chart, they're just interesting, dynamic. Very dynamic. I would say that that's a good word for them. Okay, so they're spontaneous also. Cancers, like I said, they can be the nicest, but the meanest sons of bitches you've ever seen in their life. I swear sometimes I feel like they got something to prove, which could be why they're so damn mean. And then you got the best side, all right? All right. Best side in the world, Leo. The ones who run the show and rule the world. Yeah, that's right. Shit. Trans Am. Oh yeah. We're the best. So basically, Leos run things. We're the best. We're the coolest. We're the smartest. We're the sexiest. We've got the greatest hair. Right, right. I mean, of course, everybody knows this. And I'll talk about our downside too. The irony is, on top of all that arrogance and God complex that we have, because supposedly we're ruled by the sun and all that shit, insecurity. I feel like we're the most cockiest, arrogant, insecure motherfuckers on the planet. I mean, just straight up. Oh, another thing I like about Cancers, they seem to be very responsible people. All right, so we got Virgo. Ooh! Oh! Oh! Sam Kinison reference. Oh! Why are you guys always so pessimistic and negative? I swear to God, man. I swear to God, you guys are so negative. Woe is me. I'm a Virgo. Everybody hates me. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Look, everybody hates everybody, okay? Life is hard. Life sucks, okay? I mean, shit. I don't know. They're just so grounded and realistic. It can be hard for me to talk to them and deal with them. Other types may like them a lot. I think Pisces loves them. Cool. Why? I don't know. All right, there we go. Pisces. All right, Pisces in the house. Hey, Pisces are cool. Pisces to me are also, like Gemini, one of the hardest to get to know. Very complex, very dynamic, very interesting people. And a lot more to the surface, way more than meets the eye. Yeah, you guys are complex. And you guys try to act like you're not complex, but you are complex. Also a very intuitive type. I was friends with the Pisces for about 13 years, and even in that 13 years, I swear, like, it was hard to get to know them. Like, I feel like, every couple of years I would just get to know them a little bit more and be even more surprised and intrigued, both good and bad. But all right, so Virgos, the negative Nancys, aka the negative Nancys of astrology, okay? And I don't know why they could be really insightful, don't get me wrong. They watch people, their skepticism really can be very grounded and realistic about people. So they can make a lot of calls about people that are true. All right? Don't let it get to your head, Virgos. Because they can be a little sedity, cocky, arrogant, high-minded. Don't you know Leos are the only ones who deserve to act like that? Don't you get it? Huh? I'm joking. I'm literally half serious, half joking. But I am half serious. So there is some seriousness to what I'm talking about. All right, Virgo. All right. So next sign is Libra. I don't know a hell of a lot about Libras, honestly. I mean, the ones that I've seen can be pretty hard-working, okay? Pretty hard-working. A little unpredictable, a little flaky, a little flighty. So, yeah. All right, so next up is Scorpio. All right, now listen. These are the craziest motherfuckers in the zodiac. All right, I'm going to be going over June horoscopes too here in a minute, so stay tuned because I'm going to be talking about all of the signs and what they're going to be going through in June. And you guys can get back with me and tell me if it happened or not. It's going to be very interesting. So, yeah, definitely like, share, subscribe if you want to, and if you want other people to hear your horoscope for this coming month, which is going to be here in the next couple of days, because it's going to be interesting for some of you. Some of you. But you got Scorpio, all right? This is the water sign that should be the fire sign. These are the motherfuckers you need to be scared of because they think they're fire signs and they're crazy as hell. And if you piss them off, they will ruin your life. Believe me, I know. They will wreck your fucking life in shambles, pieces. Like I literally died from the last Scorpio I dated. I'm dead. Like I died. All right, so Scorpios, they're also very deep and emotionally intuitive. Don't let their damn cool, calm, mysterious exterior fool you. They also wear a lot of black because they want to be Leos. All right, so you got Sagittarius, the next sign that wants to be a Leo. I'm going to get to the comments here in a second too, so yes, by all means, leave all the comments you want. I will be reading them here in a minute, momentarily. And then after that, I'm going to get into the whole forecast. So June forecast for all the zodiac signs. And then after that, like I said, I am going to be doing tarot. That's right. So tune in, stay tuned. I will be making an ass out of myself. It's going to be amazing. All right, so Sagittarius, really cool, really good at bullshitting, very dynamic, like to travel a lot, hate to be controlled, and they don't want to do anything unless it's their choice. It's very hard to be in a relationship with them and Geminis, I find, because they're just so devout on being free, free birds, free-spirited, you name it. You can't tell them shit. And that sucks. That shit sucks, man, sucks. Oh man, this just sucks, man, sucks. All right, so next sign, Capricorn. All right, so these are the dorky motherfuckers who compartmentalize everything. No, I can't come to that party tonight. I said that I would be there at 7:01. It's now 7:02, so I can't make it anymore. You know, they're like your briefcase carrying responsible people who usually actually have their shit together in life. So if you ever want to get your shit together, hang out with a Capricorn. They will help you get your shit together because they always have their shit together. They like to be in control. And they're very good at being organized and in control and traditional. And sometimes that traditional can be very annoying for the wild and free types like me who are Leos who have, oh yeah, there she is. I was just talking about you. I was just talking about Sagittarius. But so Capricorns, you know, they could be just a killjoy and a buzzkill. If I'm at a party and I see a Capricorn talking and being all sedity and no, we need to do it like this, I want to dump like a bucket of water with ice on their head and just be like, yeah. But like I said, I'm a Leo with a lot of Sag in its chart. Got a lot of Scorpio on my chart too. So supposedly that makes me crazy as hell. So you be the judge. All right, so we got Capricorn. I have read all the signs, and I'm going to get to the comments. And here in a second, like I said, I'm going to be talking about June forecast. So, yes. All right. So let's just see what we got here. So you guys can hear me better. So, yeah. Strawberry shortcake, silently judging you. Yeah. And yeah, my sister is Gemini, bipolar as fuck. Gemini here, we just see things from different perspectives, not necessarily two-sided. Thank God, thank you. Thanks for the kind words, gotta go practice. Oh shit, you gotta tell me what you're practicing on later, John. And thanks for tuning in. My first husband was a Scorpio, abusive as hell and controlling as fuck. You know what? That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. One of my last partners was a Scorpio, and you know, she was scary as hell. And that's coming from a man. Scary as fucking hell. So Lady Jagger is saying she's repping the Sag over here. She's got the peacock, which is like a spiritual animal that means a whole lot of shit. And what looks like a parrot. I'm not sure what the parrot means. You'll have to fill us in on that. The peacock supposedly means like you're a masculine, showy, kind of aggressive, go-getter personality, I think. Yes, Andrea, I did die. I seriously died. She killed me. All earth signs are organized, I find. Yes, that's so true. I don't know what it is about the earth signs, but that is true. They are very like grounded and very earthy and shit. You know what I mean? Okay. But yes, Andrea, yes, I died. She really did kill me. You'd literally have to see that this is craziness. I'm not talking about regular craziness, all right? I'm not talking about like the where were you at type shit. I'm talking about like the whole like Family Guy episode where you see them smoking a cigarette in the corner, like under the dim light, and you can see their eyes glowing at you, and you know that your life in that moment is about to be a living fucking hell. It's going down, basically. Oh, serious shit, man. Serious shit. Okay, so I am going to be going over your June predictions. So I am sourcing this. I'm going to now list the source. This is a great brief article that we have enough time for on the show. It is sourced from L.com, and it is a fashion and beauty whatever thingy, but anyways, I found the article very cool. It is your June 2025 horoscope is here. Every star sign's forecast for romance, career, and life. So, here we go. First sign, Aries. With Saturn and Neptune in your sign, you could be taking yourself seriously, Aries. Be the responsible adult others turn to, forging an identity of authority, which you guys are actually good at. So props there. Yet note there's an influx of attention on family, your home, or inner world as Jupiter boosts security and domestic life. Be prepared to set down roots June 25th or consider what helps you feel safe and nurtured. you who don't know, I make the best damn coffee in the galaxy. All right, so Taurus, as Jupiter moves into your zone of siblings, close connections, and communication skills this month, you might notice growing emphasis on your environment and people in it. Yet, there might also be projects to deal with alone, a focus on the position you're in and the value you add. Work hard, but don't miss out on opportunities to bond with those around you. Yeah, they seem like they can't be workaholics. Boo. Be responsible, but don't be too responsible. Trans Am. All right, so Gemini. Anticipate emphasis on your assets, job role, or earnings in the next 12 months, and especially in the weeks ahead. Financial developments could be prominent, so pause to focus on your earnings or input. However, you're perhaps also keen to be a mature, responsible elder among friends. Shit! Just kidding. No, seriously, I'm joking. But yeah, so, and you know, the Gemini that I know that is actually on here listening right now, yes, she is very responsible and a great friend to her friends. So yes, props to you. You're awesome. So, yes, however, you're perhaps also keen to be a mature, responsible elder among friends, teammates, or people in your circle too. Balance social networks while also thinking about your own resources. All right? So Cancer, you're blessed with a fresh start and new 12-year cycle from June 10th. Cancer, with Jupiter entering your sign, bringing hope, opportunities, and the feel-good factor. Embrace projects and plans, yet be sure you've exhaled the past, reaching important conclusions in private, gaining closure. It's possible you have responsibilities that loom large, so reconcile the position of authority with developments now inviting you to expand and grow. And I do feel like the Cancers that I know are really bad about, holding on to the past. Seems like they have a hard time forgiving and forgetting. All right, here we go. All right, the best sign. All right, here we go. Now the fun part. You're entering a year of transitions and inner growth. This is so true for me. This has been very true for me. I have transitioned this year in ways that you can't believe. I mean, like seriously, like holy shit. Oh, it's good coffee. I mean, it really has been. For me as a Leo, it's been a hell of a year of change. And I have not liked it, but it is what it is. So yeah, you're entering a year of transitions and inner growth. Leo, with the potential for your dreams, beliefs, and philosophy to gain traction too. Eye-opening paths are yours to explore. However, you might vacillate between taking space to unravel and working slowly and steadily to gain a new perspective. So, June 25th asks you to fully surrender to life as it is, with its shadows, sunshine, clouds, and silver linings. Boo! I don't like that. I like to be in control and take action in my own life and lead it the direction that I want it to go. But, yeah, it is what it is sometimes. All right, so Virgo, you could feel increasingly close to your community and social networks from June 9th with a fresh start among friends June 25th. Focus on the dreams and wishes you have for all of humanity, or find you're putting others' happiness and desires first. Your long-term commitments and successes are prominent too, so that you're perhaps aware of where your time, energy, money, and resources are being directed. That's stuff that's very big to them, it seems. So, all right, moving on to Libra next. But like I said, I'm going to be reading tarot. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post them up now. When I get to the comment section, I will do my best to work my magic and answer some interesting questions. So ask anything you want. I will try to answer them. I'm not a professional tarot reader, so you may or may not get some incredibly helpful advice. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. All right, so Libra, the next 12 months could be prolific for your public image, professional life, or in raising your profile, as our planet of luck touches your aspirations, ambitions, or personal mission. All right. Relationships could factor into the way you advance, so carefully choose partners or people to collaborate with and depend on. Find you can firm up joint agreements committing to the long term. Okay. Don't really know what that's all about. I'm not a Libra. Libras, chime in if you got something to say about that. Scorpio, the scary sign. You have a positive year ahead for travel, publishing, growth, and development, as benevolent Jupiter enters your education sector, nudging you to take a leap of faith and broaden your outlook, yet balance a journey of expansion with practical considerations, aware of your limits. Relationships could hit a sweet spot, enhancing your dreams. Yeah, they could hit a sweet spot if you don't destroy them. All right, here we go. Sagittarius. So, while the last 12 months has signaled relationship growth, the year ahead indicates a deepening awareness of what's between you and others. Sagittarius, your investment in partnerships could be apparent, with stronger bonds forming and knowledge arising around what you're expected to give in unions. That's actually interesting, That's cool. So basically, deepening of relationships and relationship growth, understanding of relationships, and the whole knowledge arising around what you're expected to give in unions, which is cool. It's actually very good. It's possible you're also working harder to achieve a true understanding of your own happiness, devoted to plans that are inspiring and heartfelt. So, you know what, actually, I forgot about damn Aquarius and Pisces when I was reading the definitions earlier, but that's okay. I'm going to go through the signs now and read the rest of them. So, Capricorn, relationships are amplified from June 9th as Jupiter moves into your opposite sign, bringing a fresh start to loving unions. A significant other could become more prominent with projects bringing you together. However, this might not be easy given responsibilities at home, because Capricorns are obsessed with responsibilities in your family life. However, domestic setup, or property. Your emotional roots are perhaps being established, so consider personal security and partnerships. Aquarius, this is like one of the coolest and most independent signs. It is my opposite and sometimes my rival. This is the sign that will check out on your ass if you piss them off faster than you can blink. Seriously, like they will ghost your ass. Yeah. Oh yeah. Generous Jupiter enters your sector of health and employment on June 9th, signaling a year of growth concerning your habits, lifestyle choices, and well-being. But be mindful of environmental factors and those in your immediate surroundings, as structured Saturn brings formality to your closest connections, potentially slowing down progress. Follow through with what works for you, acknowledging there's people that factor in local circles. All right, so last but not least, Pisces, there's emphasis on your creative potential, fertility, love, or self-expression this month, as generous Jupiter enters your house of the arts, children, romance, talents, and entertainment. You could be inspired by passion, projects, ready to put heart into your happiness. Just be aware, finances, earnings, or your position are underlined too. What you spend, invest in, or do to make a living calls for maturity. All right, so those are your supposed predictions for June. We'll see how they turn out. Some of them resonate, some of them kind of hit home. So I can definitely see a few of them. All right, let me see. Yeah, strawberry shortcake, yes. So I did forget to mention Aquarius. I did mention Aries. Aries came first, but I forgot about Aquarius. So, let's see here. He's trying to challenge us with a tea party. No, 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 no. No tea parties. No tea parties in the comments section. None of that shit. No, 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 no. We're in Tampa. Coffee. This isn't bloody Britain. We drink coffee here in America. You know, they brew a lot of coffee here in Tampa, by the way. Oh, that's so much better than tea. Oh my, that's so much better than tea. All right, so, yes, did forget about Aquarius. Now I mentioned that. Trying to challenge us at the tea party. It makes sense that you resist change. Being a Leo is a fixed sign. Yes, I do resist change. That is so true. I hate change. I don't like change. Change is stupid. It sucks. Things should stay the same always unless I am in control of the change. I do not like it. And in that sense, I am very fixed. I eat the same thing at the same restaurant on the same time of day, on the same day of every same month. Pretty much forever. Yeah. All right, so that was kind of all I had to say about astrology, honestly, that I can think of off the top of my head. If I come up with anything, I'll start talking about it again. I am not, like a professional astrologer. It's actually really interesting when you get into, the whole science, pseudoscience, magic, whatever you want to call it. But when you get into the whole, rising signs, for instance, okay, I'm Leo, Moon, Scorpio, Sun, Sagittarius. So basically Leo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, which is very fitting. Ironically enough, my Venus is actually in Virgo, the sign I hate, so yeah. Very interesting there when it comes to relationships, because that's probably where I am the most different and the most responsible. So, yeah. I'm responsible about relationships and I'm responsible about work. Other than that, it's like fair game and all that good stuff. Let's see here. It makes sense that you can receive being Leo fixed sign. I relate true sidereal constellation based astrology more. Yeah, so I hear there's some rivalry between that. I have heard that, sidereal is the one to consider, right? That's the main one. So, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so like I was saying, you got your, you've got your sun signs, but then you have this whole birth chart that supposedly affects the way that you behave and operate. I could say that my birth chart definitely fits me. It definitely, hits the nail on the head. So, yes. Well, I'm going to talk about tarot since I don't really have anything else to say about astrology. Like I said, if you guys have any fun questions or anything like that, let me know. So, I read tarot for fun. I don't even know a whole lot about the meaning of the cards. I like to read intuitively. And you can't actually read intuitively. I have given some of my friends readings, and they have proven very accurate, surprisingly accurate. I remember one time I was reading for a friend of mine, and she wanted to know about this guy that she was talking to. And I just stopped her right there because she said she was concerned about this guy that she was talking to. I wanted to practice my tarot. And so I said, okay, cool. I said, well, let me give it a shot and you can tell me if I'm full of shit or not. And you can tell me if if I'm anywhere in the ballpark. And what the cards told me is that this was a unpredictable, dangerous, neurotic type of person. And I also was able to discern from the tarot that he was probably an air sign. And he did end up being a Libra, and he did end up being somebody like connected to like, you know, the mob or mafia that was gang related and very dangerous. I mean, nobody you'd want to fuck with, you know, serious shit. And she was scared of this guy, and she was talking about dating him. And, you know, like the next day after all this, he ended up like flipping out and like scaring the hell out of her. And so, I mean, I was glad that I was able to help her. Now, you know, some of my materialist evolutionists, they might say, okay, well, that's coincidental, lucky guess, and, you know, all that. And, you know, maybe not. I don't know. I personally believe in tarot. It has worked for me. I have been able to find out when and where and what types of partners I will be dating. Because a lot of times I like to look up love readings. So that's something you can ask the tarot, you know, like you'd be like, okay, well, hey, I like this person. Is there a future between us? Does this person like me back? And a lot of times the tarot can be very discerning in that. And like I said, I read the cards completely intuitively. I do not know a lot of even the meanings of the cards, you know, like Seven of Swords and all that stuff. I couldn't tell you. I look at the card, I get a feeling, and I say, okay, what I gather from this is that this, and this is happening. But my last 3 relationships that I have been in, the tarot has told me when and where I'm going to meet these people. Not exactly, but where you're going to meet them at a social event. This is going to be a fire sign or an earth sign, or it might even say you have multiple partners coming in. You have a water sign that's coming, probably a Scorpio, but it could be any water sign. Sure enough, I remember, so I'll give you an interesting, very interesting experience that I had. And, you know, it blew me away. It really blew me away. And then after that, I kind of want to get into what got me started on tarot. So, back in 2020, I was fresh out of a relationship that was pretty rough. You know, I was getting divorced from this person. She was an Aquarius. And we just constantly just fought back and forth. We didn't have anything in common. We didn't like each other. We didn't have any of the same values. And our interests completely tore us apart. She was always discouraging me about wanting to be on air and make music and all of that stuff. She was just so grounded and down to business that it was impossible to talk to her about any of my hopes and dreams. She would just shoot them down and tell me how silly they were and really laugh them off and patronize me. And, you know, as a Leo, and really as anybody, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. She would just, oh, ha, 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 yeah, if you really think that that's, you know, whatever, you're so silly. And would just kind of really passive-aggressively just brush me off. And that shit really hurt. You know, that shit really bothered me a lot. It was very painful to hear that. Well, you know, ultimately I decided, fuck her, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. And I ended up going on, as you guys know, as many of you guys know, to do the round table. Which became very successful and helped people get to know me. I created the group Watching Watchtower, which is an ex-JW group for surviving cult members that need a place to go to, that also stays in touch with, you know, the Jehovah's Witnesses and finding out about a lot of the corruption that they do. And, you know, for the brief time that it was here, it was a hit. It was very successful in the JW community. And I decided to do my music, which is still gaining traction. You know, a lot of people seem to enjoy my music, which is great because I put my heart and soul into it. It's not just shit to dance to or just casual, you know. I really want to inspire people to love and to hope and to dream and to think, and it just awaken their mind, you know, to get their mind really going and to really motivate them. And so, you know, getting back to the story, you know, I was out of this relationship, I was getting divorced, and this tarot woman, her name is Indigo Mystery, tarot pick a card. So you pick a card on the video, and then you click on the timestamp of where they start talking about that card pile. And the card piles kept saying, because I looked up a few of them, you're going to meet somebody in October of 2020. And it's going to be a fated connection. It's probably going to be a Scorpio, most likely a water sign. And it also said that there was going to probably be a Virgo coming into the picture, which both ended up being true. I was also interested in a Virgo at the same time I was interested in the Scorpio. And it was going to be life-changing. There was going to be a lot of growth, a lot of passion, and I was going to meet them October. It was going to be fated. You were going to meet them while you're out. It's going to be unexpected. Sure enough, all of that shit happened in October. The middle of October, I was at a bar in Winston-Salem where I used to live at the time, and I ran into her. You know, she just, bam, there she was. I saw her, she saw me, and we made eye contact, and she was just like, wow. She's like, hey. And I was like, hey. And the connection was pretty passionate and a lot of fun. Dangerous and crazy, but a lot of fun for about 2 years. And that happened. So then, you know, we broke up and I start looking into the tarot again. And it said that you're going to meet someone around the spring or March, and they're going to be most likely a fire sign. I think a fire sign or air sign. And sure enough, I met my last partner who happened to be an Aries. And I mean, just right on the money. You're gonna meet them at an event while out, you know, something that you didn't plan on being at, but you were there nonetheless. And sure enough, there she was. So, it's very interesting. And yeah, so the most recent mentioned a Sagittarius and air sign. So Sagittarius. Actually, it said fire sign, most likely Sagittarius, air sign, probably Gemini. So, might get into that one later, but very interesting to say the least. So I want to talk about for a minute before I get to the comments. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, I will do my best to answer them through the tarot. Completely intuitively. I will be literally pulling shit out of my ass. So this will be very entertaining, just in case I make a complete ass out of myself. So, what made me believe in tarot? So I was hanging out with this chick one night, okay? And eventually, you know, we were back at my apartment. This is back in, I want to say 2020. Or was it 2019? No, it was 2019. So late 2019, I'm hanging out with this chick in my apartment. And we're shooting this shit. You know, we're just bullshitting. We're getting to know each other. Yes, Alicia, I do read tarot. I'm not a professional tarot reader, but yes, I do read tarot. And sometimes people tell me that I give very insightful readings. So yes, be happy to do that. And if you have any questions you want to ask me, I will do my best to answer them on air. And if you want a private reading later, I will be happy to do that also. So, but yeah, so, you know, me and this chick are shooting the shit. She was also a Leo. And she's like, let me read your tarot. I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, really? Because at this time, you know, at this point, I had just gotten out of the Jehovah's Witnesses. Well, no, you know, I was doing a lot of my activism and stuff. I became an apostate in 2018. And I was kind of somewhat heading into atheist territory. And now I'm agnostic. Kind of agnostic, I'm not really sure. I think there are things out there that we can't explain that are beyond the material realm. But I respect everybody. You know, I have Christian friends, I got Satanist friends, I got hippie friends, I've got liberal friends, I've got conservative friends, I've got Christian friends, I mean, you name it, Buddhist, atheist friends, I don't care. You know, if we can respect each other, that's cool with me. But she starts reading my tarot, okay? And she starts telling me all kinds of shit. Because she didn't know me at the time. This is literally the first time she had came over. I didn't know this girl for shit. She didn't know me for shit. But she starts telling me all of the stuff about myself. you know, you're destined to do this, you're destined to do that. She starts saying things that only I would know. And she said, and you got 3 of your ancestors with you that you were really close to. And at this point, this is when I'm like, okay, holy shit, wait a minute. Because anybody who knows me well knows that I was closest growing up to my 2 grandfathers and grandmother. I was very close to them. They meant so much to me growing up. I really had that tight bond with them. And so she tells me, you've got 3 of your ancestors that are actually with you, and they're still with you to this day. And I start to interrupt her. I'm like, well, that's right. She's like, no. She's like, don't tell me. She said 2 men and a woman. And from there on out, I was like, okay, there's got to be something to this. Because she knew, according to the tarot, that I had 2 male ancestors and 1 female ancestor that were with me in spirit. And anybody who knows me knows that that would be my 2 grandfathers and my grandmother. You know, people that I love very much. And so from that time forth, I was very much a believer in the tarot. And one of my friends, she introduced me to tarot decks and tarot pick-a-cards. And, you know, I just kind of got into it from there. Like I said, I never got hardcore into it. I am into it, actually. I guess you could say I am hardcore in the sense that I'm always constantly looking at my tarot readings. I tend to know when certain people are going to come around because of the tarot. Especially in relationships, I tend to know what's going to happen in my job. You know, January, the prediction was you're going to experience a sudden change in your job that you did not expect at all. And it's going to be life-changing for you, but it's going to send you on this destined path that's going to change things for you. And sure enough, in late January, that happened. And I mean, happened completely. It was completely unexpected. I literally was looking at my boss like, what in the actual fuck? And it did change things. So, yes, I followed very closely. Yeah, very interesting. So, let me check out these comments real quick. Let's see. Being a fixed sign, I relate to sidereal. All right, so let's see here. I had a guy run out of my house during a spooky accurate reading. Yes. He was cheating on his wife, and it came through the cards. Yeah, seriously, like a lot of times with these tarot readings, if somebody is really connected to the energy, you ain't ready for that shit. Like, you ain't ready. You think you're ready, but you ain't ready. So, let's see here. I predicted a next day car crash with a zodiacal spread tarot reading. Wow. Although it's not recognized as a cult, abuse runs rampant through Amish communities too. Oh no shit, I didn't know that. Wow, so you predicted a car crash, huh? That is very interesting. Very interesting. So do you read tarot, Strawberry? By the way, can I use your name on here? Do you mind if I use your name, or do you want me to keep using your alias? Let me know. So let's see here. Rampant through communities. Didn't know you read tarot. Yep, I do. So, yeah, that's kind of all that I have to say about tarot right now. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I would actually love to talk about it more, but yeah. See? Okay, yeah. Dalia. Dalia, right? Not Delea. Dalia. Yeah. So, Dalia, you read tarot? I'm assuming you read tarot. I mean, I know you're really into a lot of the mysticism too, which is really cool. So me and Dalia have had some awesome conversations around mysticism. And, you know, she's told me some pretty intuitive things too. And honestly, I mean, you know, we've been friends for years. She's awesome. I swear sometimes she knows what's going on with me, because sometimes she'll message me out of the blue and be like, hey, you know, how are you today? And I'm like, funny you should ask. And she's like, yeah, I just got a feeling that, you've got some things going on. And I'm like, well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I do. And, sometimes it's hard for me to elaborate on those things. We talked about that in the last episode. But, yeah, a lot of times she just seems to have the knowing, which is very interesting. Okay, so I've been reading tarot since 1998. Wow, that's cool. That's awesome. 1998 was an awesome year, by the way. I was in high school. Loved it. All right, so this could be a shorter episode tonight because I don't have a lot to say about tarot because I don't know a whole lot. I would like to read some cards just for fun. For some of you, if you have any questions. Other than that, I might not have a lot to talk about this. Like I said, I'm not a professional and I am not into making up shit and talking about a bunch of things I don't know. So yes, I'll give it a few minutes for questions. But yes, this is my tarot deck. I got this in 2020. I forget the name of it, but it has a lot of really cool artwork. The moon card in this is my favorite. It's so cool looking. See if I can find that for you. Okay, cool. Here we go. First question. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. I love the artwork. It's so cool. Let me see if I can find that card. So I usually pull cards by 6 because 6 is one of my favorite numbers. There's actually 6 people watching right now, and I am an Enneagram 6. Enneagram 6 / Enneagram 8. I don't know, I seem to vacillate between the two of them. Thank you for your question, by the way. I'm gonna do my best to answer it. So yeah, isn't that cool artwork? I need one of these mics that hangs over here. Or I need to get my stand fixed. Oh, 6 is a divine number? Oh, do tell. I didn't know that. Yeah, I love the number 6, even though I'm a life past 7. There's the moon card. I love the way that looks. So anybody that knows me knows I like Egyptian style a lot. In fact, a lot of the artwork that I draw in buildings and structures and things I design, they look Egyptian. I love the columns, the hieroglyphs, the style. I just think they had a really cool aesthetic. All right, so here we go. Yes, and I'd love to hear more about that 6 being a divine number. So, Delia is asking, should I focus more on real estate or Forex trading? So I'm totally going to be winging this. I'm totally going to be freestyling this. Delia, be sure to get back with me and let me know if my reading had any accuracy or not. It's okay. I'm a big boy. I can take it. If it was bullshit, it was bullshit. But if it was true, let me know. So, should Delia focus more on Forex trading or real estate? Real estate or Forex trading? Here goes. I'm going to shuffle this until it feels right to stop. All right, here we go. A lot of people seem to shuffle randomly. I will shuffle until I get the feeling to stop, until I feel like it just says, okay, you shuffled enough. All right, so here it goes. I'm gonna do a spread of 6 as soon as I sip some more of this delicious coffee. Okay, so here it goes. First question, should I focus more on real estate or Forex trading? Let's find out. Let's see, then you break the deck. Same thing, you do it till it feels right. I feel like you must do it when it feels right. Put the bottom half on the top, and then you just start laying out your cards. All right, so spread of 6, here it goes. All right, so I'm going to show you the card spread here in a second, but I'm going to go through them first while I have the feeling. I'm going to just read this intuitively, and you can tell me if there is any accuracy to it, or you can tell me there actually is no accuracy to that, you're way off. But here it goes. So for the first card, it seems that you have gone through immense struggle on the side of the real estate. That's what I'm gathering here. It seems that when it comes to the real estate aspect, there has been a lot of pain and suffering to get to where you are now. You've had to rely on people, probably a lot more than you wanted to get this going. It seems that with the Forex trading, that has been a little bit of an easier move, which is why you're wondering if you should get more into that, because that might be easier, faster money. And maybe you want something that's a little bit easier and less labor intensive. And maybe a little bit more quickly and easily more profitable. That's what I'm gathering here. So, hold on, I'm not done. My intuition's very slow, so bear with me for a minute. I'm gonna see if I can. Oh, exactly, okay, all right, I'll keep going. So I've got 3 more cards to read. You want to know what to go, what direction to go in the long term, long range. You want to retire with this. So you want to retire. The goal here is to do that. And it's not fair because, it's like, I know you, but no, we haven't really talked about this, but all right. But I don't know a lot about what you're doing. I know you're doing real estate or pursuing real estate. I didn't know you were actually doing the Forex trading, so yeah. Let me get back to this. Seems like the real estate might be a little draining for you. Maybe you feel like it's sapping a lot of your desire to be artistic and creative. You want to do something more artistic and creative, ideally, but real estate seems like a solid platform with which to build actual money versus pursuing your passions, which could prove financially detrimental because it's hard to pursue, artistic things and make money. But with the Forex trading, it looks like the reason that you want to pursue that is because maybe it gives you a little more independence to pursue the things that you want. You don't want to do something that will sap your inner strength. Okay, so getting back to the question, for what I'm gathering, like I said, as somebody who's not a professional tarot reader, so this is me going off of what I know. It seems that for you, you're going to have to gain more connections if you want to do the Forex trading. You may have to network with them a little bit more. And it may not prove financially stable, even if temporarily financially fruitful. And that real estate is going to be the slower, but more progressive and promising option. Sorry if that's not exactly what you want to hear. That's what I'm gathering here. And that just may be a slower process, but that may be a better process. And I'll show you the tarot spread that I got here in a second too, so you can see it for yourself. And you may know better than me. But this is what I got. So far, anchor down in real estate. Don't cancel out Forex trading. Forex trading might be more of a supplemental income, whereas real estate might be more of the promising income. It's just unfortunately you may have to get out of your comfort zone more with that. It's not going to be as easy. You may not be able to pursue a lot of your creative and a lot of your lifestyle choices as much with it. I mean, it won't cancel them out, but you will, you'll have to balance the two. And it seems like with Forex, if you could get that going, there would be a lot less of a need for balance. It would just be easy money, which is cool. I mean, we all want easy money, right? Life is hard. Okay, so here's the tarot spread. This is what I got. You guys got any other questions? Feel free to ask away. I've got another hour. All right, so here's the spread. And that's what I got. So let me see here. I don't know if you guys can see that. This camera's got a delay, so it's hard to see it on the screen. See, that's where it is on the screen. But yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, how does that look? Can you see that? Let me see here. Yes, that is a serpent. I think that's like the Seven of Swords. I could be wrong. So yeah, Seven of Swords. That's a Nosculus. One of my favorite cards, actually. Oh, that one. Let me see, where's the camera on this thing? Anyways, yes. So that's it. So yeah, that's what I got. All right, comments. Let's see here. So for anybody just tuning in, I am answering tarot questions. Feel free to ask away. Ask anything you want, and all of your wildest dreams will come true. All right, so Let's see here. All right. All right. All right. She said, mate, that's crazy. Spot on so far. Thank you very much. I hope it was. I hope it helps. So let's see here. All right, so let's go back up to the comments. 6 relates to balance, harmony, unconditional love, and protection. Cool, cool, okay. You see it throughout nature and in sacred geometry repeatedly. Wow, it's very interesting. Didn't know that. Cool. Let's see. So, Alicia says, Delia, have you ever heard of animal totem cards? Had those years ago, kind of similar to tarot, I guess. Huh, it's interesting. I haven't, but let's see. Okay, she hasn't either. Animal totem cards, you know, so animal totem, Alicia, this is interesting. I keep getting the deer as an animal totem. So maybe you can tell me what that means. Okay, so if you are into tarot, you might find the animal cards interesting about lessons we learn from the nature of animals, not only those we see around us, but in the card spread based on what comes up. She said, is it a serpent? I said, yes. I can't see the right side. Yeah, I know. I was trying to coordinate my camera. Sorry about that. I'll definitely check it out, thanks. The animal totem cards sound interesting. I have the Dreams of Gaia Tarot deck that I connect with to work with the elements. That's interesting. Ask the cards, where will I be, DIASISS, in 5 years? Oh God, I'm a little afraid to ask that. That was a solid read, DIASISS. Hey, thanks, Andrea. Appreciate that. All right, so where will I be in 5 years? Okay, sure. Interesting. The deer. I don't remember, but now I'm going to look. Okay, yeah, check that out. Let me know, because I kind of forgot what it means too. Is it the deer related to the Lord card in the Celtic deck? Yeah, that, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so I guess I'm going to ask the cards next where I will be in 5 years. I'm a little scared to do that, but you know what? This is kind of interesting. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to try my best to guess from this. And also, since you read tarot, if you have any ideas about the card selection, please let me know too, because yeah, you might have a little more insight. So, all right, let's go ahead and ask the cards a question. Where will I, DIASISS, be in 5 years? Oh Lord. Now you're asking the scary questions. All right, here we go. Oh, good Lord, good Lord. All right. Where will I be in 5 years? Where will I be in 5 years? Where will I, DIASISS, be in 5 years? Okay. Here it goes. I don't know. I am honestly not sure. I'm going to show it to you guys real quick, though. Maybe you can help me out. Yeah, right. No pressure on that 5-year question, right? Oh. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I have a blockage when it comes to my own self. It's interesting. Kind of like that too with others. I like to help others. Sometimes it can be hard for me to face my own stuff and ask for help. Sometimes it's easier for me to explore others than to explore myself. So I'm going to show you this reading. And maybe you'll get some interesting ideas from it. So, yeah. Here, check this out. All right, got another question. Sweet. All right, here it is. Let me know if you guys can see this. I hate this camera. Hold on. So basically we have this one. Where's that lens at? Okay, lens is over here. So we have that one. So basically it says pleasure, the full card, Knight's triangle, I'm not sure what that is, war, change, and lust. Yeah, I want to read what the cards are, Alicia. I actually don't know too many of them. I literally just read them intuitively. Yeah, I need to learn more about the definitions of the card. But yeah, so this is what I got. Hopefully that helps. Sorry about my camera. I hate it. Camera sucks. So, all right, that's what I've got for where will I be in 5 years. Sometimes I feel like I have a blockage on my own self. Like I said, the self is probably one of the scariest things. Yeah, no, she really does, Alicia. We've had all kinds of conversations about mysticism. She's really into it. But, yeah. All right, so let me read the comments real quick and see if we can figure this thing out. See if we can't figure this out. All right, so, yeah, no pressure on that 5-year question. I know, right? What intentions would you like to set? Okay, I'll ask that one next. So Andrea, you talking about me? Like, what intentions would I like to set personally? Let's see here. So, for your 5-year to help out, just read what the cards are, maybe. Yeah, I know, right? I wish. I'll get there. Burning a lot of emotional trauma deep in the subconscious must be brought to light. Otherwise, you're spinning your wheels and stagnating. Will continue on the wheel of karma, fear of commitment. Yeah. Okay. There's some truth there, maybe. Fear of no escape. Okay. Fear of no escape. Gotcha. Burying, not burning. Well, the good thing is you've got free will. Definitely a blockage. You want to evolve spiritually, so you got to align with higher goals, not get stuck in lower frequencies of greed, lust, etc. So Andrea says, what intentions would I like to set? Well, let's just find out what the cards have to say. What intentions would I like to set? I mean, I have some ideas, obviously, but let's see what the cards reveal. What intentions would I like to set? Okay. So this is interesting, Dalia. Some of these cards came back. To tell you the truth, a lot of these cards came back. I'm going to show this to you, and yeah, let me know if you get any ideas from them. Wow. I think I know where these cards are going. Don't know about how much I want to talk about it on air, but yes, here, I'm going to show it to you. Actually, I got an idea. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show them in order because it's so hard to get them on the camera for some reason. So I'm gonna show you, I pulled 6 cards and I will show you what I got in order, and I will show you, if they were reversed. I'm gonna put them up on the screen, just exactly the order in which they were received. So, all right, here it is. The question was, what are my intentions, right? Let me see here. What intentions would I like to set? Okay, so interestingly enough, even though I broke the deck and divided it many times in many different ways, it pulled up almost completely the exact same cards, which honestly is a little scary sometimes. No matter how much I divide the deck, I'll still pull out the same cards. This is one of those instances where I think only one card was different, and I'm going to show that to you. So yeah, check this out. So the first card that I pulled was this card that says happiness on it. So it was reversed. As you can see, it's upside down. I'm going to flip it over so you can see which one it is. So maybe those symbols down there will tell you. You see an upside down triangle. Looks like the Gemini symbol. So yes, that was reversed. The next card was a priestess card. So there's that one. Okay. So priestess. And the next card was pleasure. Yeah, only the happiness one was reversed. So the pleasure card, not sure what that is. There is another triangle on the bottom of that one. The Knight card again. Like I said, these are all the same cards with the exception of the Happiness card reversed, which is interesting because I broke the hell out of this deck and mixed it up and it still, all these came right back. So, yeah, that one. The Fool card. And then the Lust card again. Ooh, it has Leo on it. Sweet. You guys ever heard that song, Young Lust? I love that shit. Like, it's one of my favorite, it's probably my favorite Pink Floyd song. It's the one that's like, it's got this guitar riff and it's like, boom, 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 da-na-na. He's like, I am just a newborn, stranger in this town, something like that. And the chorus is like, ooh, I need a dirty woman, something like that. Ooh, I need a dirty girl, boom, 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 boom. And it's got these cool ass, phone signals and stuff happening at the end of the song where he's got to collect call from somebody overseas. I think it's his wife. And it's so cool. Yeah, you guys should check that out. It's on his album, The Wall. So yeah, Pink Floyd, Young Lust, my favorite Pink Floyd song. All right, so back to the comments. Burying, not burning. Well, the good thing is you've got free will. Definitely got free will. It's true, I'm very independent. That's another good classic rock song, by the way. Rush, Free Will. So, I'm gonna read these comments. She said, damn, Delia, you're making me want a reading from you. She's very deep and intuitive. Yeah, definitely check her out on my friends list, Andrea. But, yeah. The question was meant as an add-on because you were stuck. Yeah. All right, so Delia says, you also see the number 22 in happiness, no matter whether the card is up or down. I almost always pull the Priestess card in my personal readings. Interesting, okay. What's the Priestess card, by the way? What does that mean? And Delia also says, your soul wants freedom. You're stuck on the wheel of karma. This life has tried to wake you up, and you're at a crossroads at some point. At some point, you got to choose pleasure or ascension. Wow. There's a lot of truth in that, Delia. It really is. I can't deny that. That is very true. It's very interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, you guys have any other questions? Let me know. For all of you that might be tuning in, I am reading tarot at this point. I've ran out of things to talk about. I don't know a whole lot about this subject matter, but I am very interested in it, and so I thought it'd be really interesting to break out my tarot deck tonight and read. I will be here 8 to 10 every Wednesday. So, yeah, if you guys ever have questions, I'd be happy to try to read them intuitively. Even if we're talking about something else, if it's not too busy in the subject matter, I'd be happy to answer them. So, it's a very interesting subject to me. Priestess has a long, significant meaning, but mainly high intuition, initiation, divine intervention. Okay, cool. That sounds very interesting. All right, put these back. Yeah, right? Seriously, man, I feel attacked. This tarot ship can, it can get pretty deep though. It really can. So yes, yeah. Alicia says, and this has been Analyzing DIASISS. Shit's scary, man. I can get to know 1,000,001 people before I want to get to know myself. It's just the way that it is sometimes. So, yeah. Next episode, I think, I don't know, I might talk about like relationships and the battle of the sexes. Really thinking about talking about that one, next one. Maybe. It's going to be one of the next ones. That's interesting because, I mean, you could talk about that shit all night. You know, women do this, men do that, women do this, men do that. How come guys do this all the time? How come girls do this shit all the time? Yeah. The whole women are chaos, men are tyranny type thing, which has always been interesting to me. It's always an interesting subject matter. So, I might go here in the next few minutes if there isn't any further questions, just because, well, like I said, I mean, I've kind of run out of things to talk about. No need to drag it on longer than it has to. You guys are awesome, though. Thank you for the questions. If you have anything else you want to know, it could be vague, too. You could be yes, you could say yes or no. And I will say, okay, the cards say no. Or the cards say yes. You just never know. If I'm going to talk about living in a haunted house for a decade, it'll have to be a co-show, a CO show? What's CO mean? I can't type that much. That would be interesting, talking about haunted houses. Stuff like that has always fascinated me. No one wants to go under the microscope. You are the only one brave enough, maybe. Very Leo, yeah. Right? It's true, yes. That can take a lot of courage. Yeah. So what does CO mean? I would love to know. Delea says, if I'm going to talk about strawberry shortcake, if I'm going to talk about living in a haunted house for a decade, it'll have to be a co-show. I can't type that much. Hey, that'd be cool. You can join me anytime you want. Oh, hell yeah. That'd be awesome. Yeah, she's very good at talking about a lot of mysticism and has lived in a haunted house. Ooh, you know, I've only seen a couple of things that really threw me off. I feel like I have seen a couple of ghosts. I did see a shadow person one time. Now that one I saw, and I've talked about this before, face to face. It wasn't like I think I saw it out of the corner of my eye. No, he looked at me. The damn thing looked at me. And I was like, opening the door, and just the damn thing like went like that at me. And I was like, shit! Scared the fucking hell out of me. That was 9 years ago. I have not seen him since. It was actually at my dad's house. And that's the only place I've ever seen one of those things. So fortunately, I have not had to see too many of those things. They scare the hell out of me. And they're just solid black, like jet black. They're so dark that you can actually see them in the dark. They're that dark. Oh, wow, okay. Maybe we'll have to make an episode about ghosts and hauntings and stuff like that and talk about that. Quite a bit of experiences. Will you do a show on lucid dreaming, astral projection, and sleep paralysis sometime? That actually sounds very interesting. Yeah, I'd be very interested in that. I don't have a lot to say about it, so I may need a co-host, wink, wink. But yeah, those things are very interesting to me. I wonder about astral projection myself, if that is something. Lady Jagger says, lucid dreaming, let's go. Yeah, I know in my dreams a lot of the time, I can realize, it doesn't happen in every dream, but sometimes I realize, hey, you know what? This is my dream. You can't tell me what to do. And like snap my fingers and like blow up their whole house. Like if they're talking shit, I'm like, yeah, that's right. It's my dream. Now give me some money, and money starts raining down. Oh my God, I'm so Leo in my dreams, guys. It's not even funny. Like I'm literally walking and music is playing. You know, I'm walking down the street in slow motion in my dreams. It's like boom, 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 boom. You know, like girls are on my side, like pulling up. People are like high-fiving me and shit and wanting to get a picture with me. Looks like a damn like music video or some shit. I'm so fucking vain in my dreams, it's not even funny. I hit a guy in my dream one time like that, and he went flying over some boxes in slow motion. You know, he like tried to stop me from walking in like the club or some shit, and I was like, boom! And he was like, oh! And I was just like, didn't even like break a sweat, of course. Shit's funny as hell. All right, so lucid dreaming. Okay, so Delea knows a lot about this. Yeah, it'd be awesome. I mean, you know, we'd have to keep the subject matter for about 2 hours going, or at least like, you know, a solid hour. But yeah, I mean, if you feel like you have a lot to talk about in that, then yeah, right? I know. Yeah, but so yeah, astral projection and lucid dreaming and sleep paralysis. I hate sleep paralysis. I mean, it's not like I know anybody. Oh yes, give me some more of that sleep paralysis. Yes, I love that. You know, it's not like people are saying, oh yes, I just love being held down by demons and can't even move. It's like the scariest shit ever. I swear it happens when I'm laying on my back the most. I wake up, I'm like, ugh! Damn it, man. So yeah, lucid dreaming, astral projection. What was the third one? Yeah, sleep paralysis. Yeah, lucid dreaming is very interesting when you realize you're dreaming. Yeah, my dreams are just so damn vain. I'm always like on some cool adventure. Look like I'm in a damn music video. I'm always on an adventure. You know, one of the coolest dreams that I ever had was actually recently, and I actually made a song up for it in my head that I want to make at some point. But I was sitting there, and I decided to, you know, leave the house of the partner that I was at the time. And I jumped into this pool, or this big ocean of like red water. It swam across the bay to like this island that was up on this cool ass platform. And when I went up there, the music was playing, people were pool partying, and it was amazing. Like the music, it was like dun, 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 dun. And like all these, you know, beautiful ladies and cool people were up there. They're like handing me a beer and shit. It looks like a music video, and I'm partying with them. And then I jump back off the top of this platform island that rises right out of the water. And I swim back home. And when I go home, I'm at this house with white walls, and there is this housewife that's sitting there. And, you know, I walked around the house. I went into the living room and the kitchen. And then for some reason I went to the bathroom, and I didn't have to go to the bathroom. I just walked in there and I looked in the bathroom, and it was just a really, really cool dream. But this water was like this really cool ass orangey red looking, and it was like midday, and like the waves were crashing in, and I just swam right through that shit. And I just walked up on that island like I was the fucking man, and like everybody knew me. And it was a really cool dream. So yeah. Not exactly sure what that's about, but dreams can have an amazing, meanings. I mean, people always say, oh, they don't mean anything. Bullshit. That is a fucking lie right there. I've actually got a book on dreams and their interpretations and meanings. It's actually very interesting. So, yeah, about that, I might actually grab that book here in a second since we have a few minutes. go through a couple of the definitions. I'm going to check these comments real quick. So lucid dreaming, let's go. That's a solid list. Yes, it is if you have something to talk about. Like I said, I just don't know if I have enough to talk about, but I mean, anytime DeLea wants to co-host with me, that's cool. Anytime one of you guys want to co-host with me, that's cool. You can come in the studio, man, and we could just sit here and chill for 2 hours. Yeah, I don't sleep on my back for that reason. Yeah, right? Exactly. I sleep on my back for that reason. I love sleep paralysis. Divine ghost sex is euphoric. What? Euphoric? Hold the fuck. What? Okay, so DeLea says, I sleep on my back for the reason of sleep paralysis. I love sleep paralysis. Divine ghost sex is euphoric as fuck. Really? My grandma visits me in my dreams. That's so cool. That is very interesting. That's awesome. Wow. She ever tell you any like divine messages or anything like that? Anything interesting? Any kind of warnings about the future, anything like that? Or, you know, tells you you're doing a good job or anything? Let me know. There's your next topic, dream analysis. Yeah, I know, right? That is great. I want to know more about this divine ghost sex. Whoa, 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 oh yeah. Shit. Trans AM. Oh yeah. Seriously though. Yeah. I'm sorry, like I got mind fucked there for a minute. I'm thinking, okay, divine ghost sex. Like I remember that shit in Ghostbusters. You remember the scene where like Ray's on the bed and it's like, I ain't afraid of no ghost. Next thing you know, like in the song, it's like, busted makes me feel good. I bet it does, Ray. I bet it does. Damn ghost like started giving him, yeah, you know what, on the bed. Like starts unzipping his pants and shit. It's like this hot ass ghost floating above him, right? Shit was crazy. I love that movie. God, I love that movie. I love Ghostbusters. I like all the movies, but yeah. Nothing like the first one on that one. There's your next topic, dream out. That is wild, but I love to hear it. I love a good dream orgasm, but not one from sleep paralysis. Yeah, how about that? Shit, that alone would be worth talking about. Let's see here. Okay, hold on. Let me grab this dream book real quick. And then I'm going to read that comment. Busted makes me feel good. Busted makes me feel good. So, this is a very interesting book. I like to read it from time to time. So yeah, check this out. Yeah, right? She needs her own show, right? So DeLea says, I think my obsession with trans, and is because my dad's first car was a trans. Hell yeah. Okay, so DeLea says, I think my obsession with Trans Ams are Firebirds. If you guys don't know, it's one of the coolest cars ever made. Yeah. Trans Am. Yeah. So, I think my obsession with Trans Ams is because my dad's first car was a Trans Am. He sounds like an awesome dude. We got a winner. First car was a Trans Am, and my mom's was a Firebird. Holy shit. So your parents were basically badass motherfuckers. Holy shit. 80s model Trans Ams are sexy as hell. Yes, I got an 84, black. It's my Knight Rider. But yeah, 84 black Trans Am is what I got. I got a 2001 Trans Am, and then I got a Toyota Supra. I love them. I love 80s cars. They're so cool. Hell yeah. They were a bunch of 80s model driving Trans Am motherfuckers. Oh yeah. Trans Am. Trans Am. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Bustin' makes me feel good. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Bustin' makes me feel good. All right, so forest. So if you see a forest in your dream, a friend will disappoint you. If you dream of being lost or if you dream of being lost in a forest. So if you see a fox in your dream, it is a sign of danger. Beware of covetous friends and associates. Their intentions may not be true. Let's see here. Flowers. You are in store for a tremendous happiness if you dream of flowers. Flying. To fly like a bird through the sky indicates that your efforts to achieve something beyond your capabilities will be futile. What? If you see fog in your dream, you will be faced with a difficult choice if you dream of fog on land. Let's see. Frog, an auspicious omen, peace and contentment are on the horizon. It's interesting. Funeral, you will have reason to celebrate if you dream of a funeral, even if it's your own. Really? Wow, yeah, I really want to celebrate at a funeral. Oh, wow, take me to the funeral tonight so we could party, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds real fun. Woohoo! 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 All right, back to the comments. Stephen LeBerg's Guide to Lucid Dreaming is a great book. Okay, cool. Alicia says, last night I dreamed I was smoking and I don't smoke. What does that mean? Wow, okay. Let's find out. Small book, but let's see here. Smoke, okay. Smoke. What in the fuck does smoke mean in a dream? Bustin' makes me feel good. He knew what he meant when he sang that shit. Bustin' makes me feel good. So, I don't know if this matches your description, but smoke emanating from an unknown source is a sign of mounting worries. That's all it actually says when it comes to smoke. So, apparently it could indicate some worry. So, I don't know, but what's the difference if you're smoking? What does that mean, right? So, I don't know, it's a good question. Great question. Yeah, I was smoking in a dream and I don't smoke. What does that mean? That is pretty trippy, actually. It's really trippy. Alicia, are you feeling suppressed need to express yourself? Probably. Yeah. It could be, because, you think of somebody smoking, right? They're kind of taking a walk on the wild side, especially if they don't usually smoke. I think of Grease, and, you remember the scene in Grease? God, what was her name? Oh, the actor that played her. But anyways, in the movie Grease, she was a real conservative girl, and she was hanging out with John Travolta and the Greasers. And then at the end of the movie, she comes out wearing the all black, smoking cigarettes. So a lot of times, you kind of think about that. You kind of think about people smoking as, maybe taking a walk on the wild side, being a little bit daring. Maybe more than they usually are. Could be that. Interesting. Interesting. Well, guys, we got 9 minutes to ask your questions, to ask DIASISS anything you want to know so that your wildest dreams can come true. By the way, I hope you guys liked my song at the beginning. Be sure to rewatch this. A lot of good info. Okay, here we go. Checked my dream dictionary, and it says smoking could keen an addictive pattern in life relating to eating or relationships. Check my dream dictionary. Hey, by the way, thank you, Andrea. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate that insight. I love it. I love it when people chime in with some good info. So cool. Props. So Andrea says, check my dream dictionary, and it says smoking could keen addictive pattern in life related to eating or relationships. I take that as maybe somebody might be afraid of being addicted to relationships or eating. Well, I did eat a lot of chocolate yesterday, which I don't do. Interesting. See? Guilty. Was it dark chocolate? I love dark chocolate. It's good for you too, they say. They say it even helps calm you down. They say that dark chocolate is a good stress relief for relieving cortisol. Helpful fact and tip. Encouragement to look into what may be trying to control you and unhealthy thinking patterns. That is very interesting. All right, awesome. Wow. I don't think I've ever had a dream where I was smoking. No, I don't think I have. I have a lot of dreams about vanity. A lot of dreams about like being rich and famous. Shit like that. Call it the Leo in me. All kinds of dreams about fancy cars and getting out in nice suits and everybody's like waving and taking pictures and shit. So yeah. It's very interesting though. Dream interpretations are fascinating and I believe that they're very accurate. Very accurate. Well guys, we got 7 more minutes. It's always fun when there's plenty of comments to read through. A lot of good discussion, debates, etc. Here we go. Jung's interpretation says, shielding others against your emotions, trouble letting others in. Is that if you see smoke or if you're smoking in a dream? I don't remember most of mine. Yeah, right. Oh, I hate that. I hate when I dream and I don't remember it. A lot of times that's actually where my musical inspiration comes from. My musical inspiration comes from 2 places, usually going to a nice place and being, just inspired by the aesthetic of it. And then dreams. I'm a Scorpio, so that fits. Yep, okay. That's true, yeah, I could see that. Okay, it's very interesting. Right, smoking in a dream when you usually don't. Interesting. Thank you for that, by the way. Appreciate that, Dalia. Wow. It is a nice quiet night out here. I'm actually, after this, I'm going to meet with someone who actually does do tarot professionally, and they are reading just down the street from me. So, that'll be interesting. There's lots to do in Tampa. It's kind of cool. You can roll out of here 10, 11 o'clock at night, and a lot of times there's still stuff to do. Now, it's no Miami. All right, now Miami's awesome. If you can deal with the traffic of people. But it's awesome. Lots of cool people, you know, style of dress, fancy cars, cool music, a lot of electronic and house music, cool stuff like that. It's really cool. Yeah, love Miami, love Miami. Can pull up down there in my Trans Am with the T-tops off. Nobody thinks it's weird. Everybody's showing off, so. Just moved to Miami. I know. I need to build up more connections down there, and you got to make a little more money down there because it's very expensive. So entertaining though. You know what I like about Miami a lot too is it's really pretty. I mean, South Beach is beautiful. It looks like a paradise of cityscape. You know. I want to check out the aquarium, Peace Lodge in Tampa. Hey, come on down. Come and see us. Yeah, I'd love to have you. The aquarium, you know, the aquarium, Peace Lodge. Yeah, I haven't been there. I don't know a lot about it, to tell you the truth, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Everyone is weird in Miami, so it's all good. Yeah, I know, right? That's a cool thing. You don't stand out at all. I mean, if you're different or unique, you don't really stand out. And I like that. You know, I wear a lot of black, and I drive old classic cars and play a lot of non-mainstream music. I kind of have a vibe about me. People say that's a little bit different, maybe eccentric and stuff like that. And in Miami, nobody bats an eye. Which is cool, I like that. You know, you feel like you fit right in. I love that Miami is an artsy spot. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You find that out when you go down there. Rosicrucian. Yeah, I think you mentioned that to me one time. Okay, I was sitting there thinking about it. At first I thought aquarium, and then I looked at it again. I was like, wait, Aquarium Lodge. And I was like, I think she's talking about the Rosicrucian. Or, how do you say that? Rosicrucians. Yeah. It'd be cool. Be an interesting experience. Hell, I'll go with you if they let me. If they let me, if I'm allowed. If I'm invited. Let's see here. Okay. We got about 2 more minutes, so if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Thank you for joining me tonight. Fun as always. We'll be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to put a poll up, so I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to put a poll up there. If you guys want to talk about something different, let me know in the comments on the poll. So you actually don't have to vote on the poll. You can jump down to the comments and say, hey, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that. And, you know, if you second whatever somebody said in the comments, then hell, you know, pick that and just say, hey, I second this. I'll tally up the votes. And yeah. Well, that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Fun as always. Been doing stuff like this for years. So this has been another cool episode of Tampa's Own. And yeah, I think that's it for the comments, and I think that's it for everything else. Okay, wait a minute. One more. I want to know what your tarot reading says tonight. Okay. I'll hit you up about that later. So yeah. Well, guys, it has been fun. So definitely tune in next week. If I can turn this damn thing off. Here we go again. Shit. I need like an off switch. How the fuck do you turn this off? Damn it. Damn it. All right, y'all. I figured it out. Streaming, yes.